All right, on to the last page. Questions 19 through 23. Find the distance between A and B. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're definitely going to want to identify what those points are. That's the easiest way, at least I can think of, to figure out the distance here. So I'm going to count this out. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, so A is -3 so far. And then we got to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go -3, comma 7 is A. Since we're only dealing with AB, then I'm not going to stress over the other points. I'm just going to get these two. This one here is -2, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to have to go down. Let's count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're going to be at -2, comma -5. And the next thing we want to do is we want to use the distance formula. Because it is a slanted line, they're not perpendicular, they're not on top of each other. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the word perpendicular. We're going to have to use the distance formula. So for question 19, we grab that big old house that we have, right? We grab that big old house. And remember, my house always has 2 rooms. And I'm not a freak, so we use square rooms. But then we realize I actually am a freak because in one of my rooms, I put my X's. What a ridiculous idea, right? I'm going to put my X's in my first room, -3 and -2. And then I'm going to put my Y's in my other room. Why would I put my Y's in that room? Yeah, I know. It sounded like I said wives, but I really just said Y's. All right, so we're going to put the 7 and the -5. So I put the -3 and the -2, my X's in my first room, and then I put the 7 and the -5, my Y's, in the other room. Now what we're going to do is, because my X's don't like each other, they're going to fight a little bit. Yeah, they're going to subtract. And my Y's definitely don't like the idea that there are 2 of them, so they're going to fight. So you got to make sure you throw those negatives in there as well. All right, so now we just simplify it. So this simplifies out. -3 plus 2 comes out to -1. So we got -1 squared. 7 plus 5 comes out to 12. So we got 12 squared. And this gives us the square root of 1 plus 144. All right. Our answer is going to be the square root of 144. All right. But we're going to open up Desmos. So we're going to open up a Desmos, right? We type it in and we get that the answer is 12.0 when you round it to 1 decimal place value. I know. Square root of 144 is 12, but 145 is super close to it, and that's why the answer comes out really close to it, 12.0. We're moving on to question 20. Find the distance between C and E. All right, so question 20, very similar to question number 19. It's just C is a weird point. It's 0,4 because it didn't move left or right, so the first number is nothing. And then it goes up 4 spaces. Moving to E. E is located down here at 3, -3. And now we need to find the distance between those 2 points. Take out our square root, right? Take out that big old house we got. And in our house, we got those squared rooms, right? Not circus style rooms, but squared. And then we just subtract the numbers, right? We get our X's. Hey, X, that's the first X. She's a little mean one. And then we got the second X, 3, right? So we put the 2 X's in the room. Oh, it's going to be a madhouse in there. And then my second room is going to have my Y's. So I put my Y's in my second room, 4 and -3. I know. It sounds like I'm saying wives, but I'm really saying Y's. So I got my X's in one room. They're going to fight because they don't like each other. I got my Y's in my other room, my Y's, and they don't like each other, so they're going to fight. All right, and then now it's just a matter of simplifying. So we go equals square root. That's going to be -3 squared, right? -3 squared plus, and then the other one's going to be 7 squared. All right, let me make this so we don't get confused right there. I'm going to simplify this guy up over here. How about that? All right, so we get square root of 9 plus 49. Square root of 9 plus 49, which is the square root of 58. Square root of 58. We take out our handy dandy calculator. We hop on the Desmos. We're like, hey, Desmos, can you give me an answer? Let me find an answer for the square root of 58. Type in 58, put a square root on it, and we get 761. So this rounds to 7.6. And that is our answer for question number 20. All right, moving on to 21. The midpoint. Find the midpoint of BG. All right, so this is the one that I say I want you guys to kind of guesstimate at first, right? Your answer is not your guesstimate, but I want you to kind of guesstimate it, right? I want you to estimate, approximate. So that's BG. So I'm thinking it's like, it might be right there. That might be it, okay? So that's my guess. My guess is that the midpoint is going to be right here. That's my guess. 3 comma 0. Now let's just verify it. To do that, we are going to want to identify point G. So I'm going to count it out. All right, so I'm going to count point G out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so G is at 8. G is at 8, comma. Give me a second. Let's see. G is at 8, comma, and then we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, comma 5. All right, midpoint formula. So the midpoint formula is you take the x's, you add them and divide by 2. So we're going to take the negative 2 and the 8, and we're going to add them, right? It's essentially average. So we're going to average out the x's, and then we're going to average out our y's. Negative 5 plus 5 divided by 2. Oh, that's the midpoint right there. And then we simplify it. 6, negative 8 plus 2. Or sorry, negative 2 plus 8 is 6. Right? And the negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So it comes out to 3. Oh my gosh. I was correct, right? That was my guess. My guess was that it was right there. So the midpoint is in fact 3 comma 0. Question 22, find the midpoint of D and F. Oh, this is getting cluttered. We're getting all kinds of stuff everywhere. So F is right here, and let's label that point as, oh, let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8 is too much. Let's go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comma, negative 3. All right, and then D is 3 spaces, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 3 comma 5. All right, so just add up the x's, average them, right? So 3 plus 7 divided by 2, because there's 2 of them. Maybe we don't want that extra parentheses. Parentheses there, comma, right? Because it's a point, it's an ordered pair. And then we're going to go with 5 and negative 3. 5 negative 3 divided by 2. And this gives us 10 over 2. Ooh, that's a nice round number. And 5 minus 3 over 2, which is 2 over 2. So our answer comes out. Oh, I forgot to estimate. Oh, well, this video is getting a little long, so kind of a good idea that it's almost over. All right, moving on to our last question. Oh, 23. 23 is the beast. All right, if E is the midpoint of C and H, and people are like, C and H, I see C. Where's H? What are you talking about? Oh. Like H is like there, right? We're like, oh, there's H. I see. All right, so if E is the midpoint of C and H, what are the coordinates of H? H is not going to be visible. All right, that's obvious, right? It's like way at the bottom. So we have to figure this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that H. So H I'm going to call X comma Y, right? Let's name those variables. So what we do is to find the midpoint, you take your two n's. So we're going to take 0 and x. So we're going to say 0 plus x divided by 2 is going to equal the midpoint of 3, right? So one more time, just for clarification. We're going to take the 0, the x, add them together, divide by 2, and I should get the 3 as the answer. We're going to do the same exact thing with the 4, the y, and the negative 3. So we're going to say 4 plus y divided by 2 is equal to negative 3. All right, now for the quick math step, right? The technique, multiply both sides by 2. Yeah, let's get rid of that fraction because we hate fractions. They just mess with us. 0 plus x, that's a goofy thing there. We're just going to say x equals 2. X equals 6, sorry, what am I saying? X equals 6. Do the same thing on the other equation. We're going to multiply to get rid of the fraction. So we're going to multiply by 2, right? And this gives us 4 plus y is equal to negative 6. We're going to take away another 4. And this gives us y equals negative 10. That means that this point is 6 comma negative 10, which seems, 6 spaces this way and 10 spaces this way seems appropriate. Seems like it makes sense. So our answer for question 23 is 6, negative 10.